It was already nighttime, and the sky was filled with stars. The battlefield was covered in smoke, with a massive crater left behind from the fierce battle. Many of the martial saints were injured. One of them clutched his chest, his eyes widening in shock and fear. Another clenched his fists, struggling to comprehend the terrifying power of Lu Shang. He had destroyed their divine manifestations using only his own strength. Lu Shang floated above the battlefield, radiating an overwhelming aura. The remaining warriors stared at him in stunned silence, unsure of how he had become so powerful. Noticing their expressions, Lu Shang smirked, his arrogance shining through. The muscular martial saint burned with rage at the sight. Furious, he ordered the others to attack together and end Lu Shang once and for all. The warriors took their battle stances, fixing their determined gazes on Lu Shang. Seeing them finally join forces, Lu Shang couldn't help but smile. Holding back was pointless now. As golden energy surged around his body, he prepared to show them the true power of a god. Just as the martial saints moved to attack, Lu Shang activated his power. He vanished like a flash of lightning and reappeared in front of them, moving too fast for them to react. With a single punch, he sent 3 of them flying. Their screams of agony echoed through the battlefield. One warrior tried to strike from behind, but Lu Shang sensed him immediately. Turning with a smirk, he delivered a slap to the man's chest, launching him high into the air. The remaining martial saints tried to regroup and attack again, but Lu Shang unleashed another wave of energy, forcing them back. They finally realized they were no match for this monster. One of them, overwhelmed with fear and rage, grabbed Harold by the collar and demanded to know who Lu Shang was and where he came from. Harold, caught off guard, stammered nervously, unable to answer. Surrounded by furious warriors, he panicked, falling to the ground and covering his head. Trembling, he swore he knew nothing. "I'm just a weak level 9 martial saint," he pleaded, but his words only fueled their anger. One warrior, his face twisted with frustration, clenched his teeth and reached into his suit. He pulled out a glowing energy crystal and stared at it with newfound determination. This warrior, who bore a deep scar over one eye, was ready to risk everything. Without hesitation, he bit into the crystal and swallowed it. Everyone gasped as his body began to change. Dark energy surrounded him, and he let out a primal scream. Black wings sprouted from his back, sharp claws emerged from his fingers, and a horn grew from his forehead. His eyes burned with hatred as he glared at Lu Shang, preparing to strike. With newfound demonic strength, the transformed warrior launched a powerful punch straight at Lu Shang. The attack landed squarely, sending Lu Shang crashing into a pile of rocks. Dust and debris filled the air. For a moment, everything was silent. The warriors thought they had won. But as the dust settled, Lu Shang emerged with only a small scratch on his cheek. He wiped the blood from his mouth with a single finger, his expression unreadable. Then, suddenly, he smiled. This was the challenge he had been waiting for. Lu Shang stretched out his hand, and his golden energy surged stronger than before. With a smirk, he mocked the warriors. "Is this really the strength of level 9 martial saints?" His words were a slap in the face to his enemies. Furious, the scarred warrior clenched his teeth, cursing Lu Shang under his breath. The other warriors, refusing to accept defeat, took out their own energy crystals. Desperate to match Lu Shang's power, they consumed the crystals, unleashing another wave of dark energy. Their bodies transformed as they surrounded Lu Shang, attacking with everything they had. A long-haired martial saint delivered a powerful punch to Lu Shang's stomach, knocking him backward. Another struck his cheek, sending him flying. The attacks kept coming, one after another, forcing Lu Shang to take hit after hit. Finally, a cloaked warrior landed a devastating kick, slamming Lu Shang into the ground and creating a massive explosion. But even after all that, Lu Shang stood back up. His body shimmered with golden energy as he smiled once more. His wounds were minimal. Then, he focused his power, and the air around him crackled with electricity. Immortal flames ignited across his body. The energy radiating from him grew so intense that the entire battlefield trembled. The warriors froze in shock. Above them, the sky itself seemed to respond. A massive golden magic circle formed, releasing divine energy that made even the ocean churn violently. Lu Shang floated in midair, his body glowing like a god descending from the heavens. His energy was so blinding that some of the warriors had to cover their eyes. Others turned and ran, realizing they stood no chance. Lu Shang's body began to crackle with golden lightning as he summoned an enormous energy sphere in his palm. One of the warriors, wearing glasses, stared in horror. He's reached level 9, he whispered. The other warriors, drenched in sweat, finally understood. If Lu Shang had been this powerful at level 8, then now, at level 9, he was truly unstoppable. Run, someone shouted. The martial saints broke into a desperate retreat, fleeing the battlefield. Among them was Lin Wanwan's mother. She hesitated, staring at Lu Shang's radiant form. Words failed her. There was no way to describe the sheer force of his power. As Lu Shang watched them flee, he did not give chase. He remained silent, staring at the immortal fire flickering in his hand. Lu Shang's gaze fixed on them as he revealed that during this battle, he had to suppress part of his strength so as not to defeat them instantly. He began to gaze toward the ground and let out a sigh, as he was still far from the supreme state. He was in an intermediate state and had not been able to feel a true sense of crisis. Lu Shang's eyes began to shine, and his attention focused on his palm. He did not know why he felt that even if these martial saints attacked him together, they would not be able to kill him. With only 22 immortal cells, he could withstand attacks from a level 10 warrior, and now that he had close to 300, being killed by a level 9 martial saint was impossible. He put his hand under his chin and began to ponder in silence. He felt that now he was only half level 9. He had not yet fully ascended. The fusion between his martial body and spiritual strength was not complete. The sky was full of stars. Lu Shang raised his head and his attention fixed on the stars. He clenched his fist tightly and had no choice but to place his hopes and the guides who were about to arrive. That's it today from Fivify. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you won't miss an update. Stay awesome and I will see you in the next one.